And we are back, chat. Here is the fourth round of Swiss, apparently. So I guess we missed 2 rounds total. We are watching Blue Purple Luffy versus Lucci. Lucci going second here. He does have Kuzan in hand already, so in a decent spot for the next turn's curve. We are gonna see Luffy swing 6 into the Lucci here, and we'll see him probably go for that gear second. He does have that available to ramp up to 4 Dawn now, and then 6 the following turn. And I do see the God Thread available for him as well, so he can answer the 4-cost Kuzan if Herbie does play that down on the side of the Black Lucci. So P here in a decent position. Very happy to see, of course, ramp available for a deck like Blue Purple Luffy. And the stream died. Well, let's see. Will they fix it? Okay, they fixed it already. So it was just a 6k swing, and it looks like Herbie played down 3 cost broke, and then that was immediately got shredded by P on the Blue Purple Luffy. He does end the turn with 2 active Dawn, threatening a Thunder Bagua here, and telling Herbie, yeah, you shouldn't really be swinging into me right now. I'm gonna ramp to 8 and get my leader effect 1 turn early. But of course, there's nothing on the board anyway, so there's no real value in Herbie like swinging with his leader right now. Oh, he does go for that swing, saying that, hey P, I don't think you have that Thunder Bagua. I'm just gonna swing 7. I'm gonna mill myself to get more resources in my trash. And P says, okay, sure, here's a 2k counter. I didn't have the Bagua, I was bluffing. And Herbie goes for that 4-cost Kuzan, draws a card. We are gonna see P go back to his turn. He draws another 9-cost Lin Lin. I think that's his third one in hand, which is really, really crazy. We are gonna see Blue Purple Luffy swing 6 into the face of Herbie. And those 3 9-cost Lin Lins are going to be very, very dangerous for this Lucci. So first one drops down. He is going to discard a 9-cost Lin Lin here. So he's telling Herbie, yeah, I have a couple. And then Herbie puts the 4-cost Kuzan at the bottom of his life. No longer able to remove this 9-cost Lin Lin with that -4 on attack. However, we will see if he can reduce this Lin Lin to a low enough cost. I do see a 10-cost Kuzan already milled from the side of Herbie, and if you guys don't know, that is the current popular Black Lucci build. You are playing 10-cost Kuzan and 4-cost Kuzan in order to try and get rid of these very big threats on the side of Blue Purple Luffy. There's also a 7-cost Jack available from Herbie here. He can choose to use that to set up for the 10-cost Kuzan on the 10 Dawn turn. So Jack KOs a 3-cost character on its activate main. With Lucci's when attacking effect, you can reduce the cost of the Lin Lin from 9 to 8. Kuzan reduces that from 8 to 3, and then Jack turning sideways will KO that Lin Lin. So we are going to see Herbie swing 6 into leader, just continue to apply some pressure, and then I think the Jack is going to be the play here, so that he can set up for that 10-cost Kuzan turn. Now Jack being 7 plus 4 cost is immune to 9-cost Lin Lin, because 9-cost Lin Lin only targets 6-cost units. So we will see if P has the red rock available. No, he's going for a Tempest Kick instead. So it does reduce the cost of this Lin Lin from 9 to 8, now to 5. We'll see if he can get rid of it this turn. So it is going to be another Tempest Kick, so brings it down all the way to 2 now. And will he be able to clear it? I do see the 4-cost Lucci available, so that might be the angle. Develop a 6k body as well as get rid of the 9-cost Lin Lin, and the stream is down again. We will see very shortly if that 9-cost Lin Lin gets to stay on the board. I don't think so. No, it's instead going to be another Tempest Kick, it looks like, and then Rebecca broke. So develops 2 sides here instead of just the 4-cost Lucci, and the brook also helps to set up for another removal. But that was 3 Tempest Kicks from the side of Herbie, and that's a very, very valuable resource that you don't want to lose all of so early. I don't see 10-cost Kuzan. I don't see 10-cost Kuzan in Herbie's hand. He may not have that for the following turn, and if he doesn't, there's going to be a lot of steam gone, and I don't think he'll be able to continuously remove what is going to be coming down from P. However, P's top 5 doesn't look too good. He doesn't have like a 9 cost body to play off of that 9 cost Sanji. He might just end up going for 9 cost Lin Lin again here. He does have 2 Bonclays, a Thunder Bagua. He also has a Usohachi. What will be the choice here? I would probably send this to the bottom of the deck if it were me personally, but he leaves it on top. He goes for the draw. It is that Bonclay he saw. We are going to see a 6k swing into this Brook maybe. It is going to be the case, and Herbie is thinking of countering all of this. He could very easily just block as well, and that is going to be the play. He is going to block, and then the 9 cost Lin Lin is going to come down, send this Brook to the bottom of Herbie's life probably. So that is going to be quite a advantageous position now for the side of P. However, 2 Sanjis available in hand. Sadly, no 9 cost or 8 cost characters even at the top 5 cards of his deck. Not able to play a good 9 Sanji into something right now. So Herbie does hit his 10 Don turn. We are going to see if he does have that 10 cost Kuzan. I still don't see it right now. However, there is a 4 cost Lucci. There is Jack that he can establish. Right now, Herbie at 6 life. He is pretty safe still, not going to be losing the game anytime soon. However, this matchup is not about the life total, but it is about the board. And if you see right now, P does have that 9 cost Lenin, Herbie empty board, but that could change very, very quickly. We will see what the play is going to be. Again, Herbie used 3 Tempest Kicks last turn to get rid of that 1 9 cost Lin, so he doesn't have that in the tank anymore. We are going to see, I mean, he could cycle back to it, however, that's not going to be for quite a while still. There is a Bartolomeo blocker, there is the Jack available, there is the 4 cost Lucci. So quite a few options here, but none of them end with this 9 cost Lin getting removed. And remember, P already discarded 1 9 cost Lin and 1 was KO'd by Herbie, so only 1 9 cost Lin left in the deck. So I think an avenue is open here for Herbie to just kind of go for aggression. He is going for a 8k swing, it looks like. However, P does have that gear second he took from his leader effect earlier, is choosing to just take this life instead. Does have that Thunder Bagua available, and there goes the Jack, does develop that big 8k body. Now P uses his leader effect, again no big body, P reeling a little bit from that lack of, I guess, an option for the 9 cost Sanji here. However, does go for the Usohachi 2k it looks like. Also has Zorojiro available as a 1k option, however does go for Usohachi instead, puts the rest at the bottom, and then draws into the very crucial red rock. However, that can be used on this Jack, but he might want to be saving this instead for the 10 cost Kuzan that may eventually come down. Now, not the ideal start for sure. However, we are going to see P start swinging into Herbie, 7k swing here from the leader, and then a 9k swing from this 9 cost Lin. And he is just going to red rock the Jack. Not a lot of discipline here to save that for the 10 cost Kuzan. However, I think P is probably thinking if Herbie had the 10 cost Kuzan, he would have dropped it on curve, and that isn't the case. However, we will see if Herbie does top deck into it or something like that. Instead, just draws into the 1 cost Tsuru 2k counter, and now again Herbie in a bit of a precarious position, doesn't really have another good play here. He does have that Jack, I suppose, so can drop another Jack here, just set up the board again. Also has Rebecca as an option. Doesn't have enough reduction available here. There is a Laboon, which would put this 9 cost Lin at 4 costs with leader swing, so -5 total. And there is a Tsuru, and Rebecca Brook is on the table, but that only gets rid of an 8 cost, so still a little bit out of reach, this 9 cost line. And that is the scary part about this deck and this matchup. Of course, even if you are Lucci, removing multiple 9 costs in one turn is going to be very difficult, and even removing a single 9 cost is pretty difficult if that 7 cost Jack doesn't stick. Especially without the Ice Age, without the Moria, it's not going to be as simple as it used to be for sure. Now Herbie just thinking of the lines possible. He does have Rebecca kind of pulled out of his hand, and does have Hina as well. So Rebecca, Hina, into Laboon would be able to reduce that to 1 cost, but we don't have enough Dawn to KO it after then. So here is the Rebecca Hina play. It is going to reduce the Charlotte Lin to 5 cost right now, and with the Lucci leader swing, that will go down to 4 costs. And now with 5 Dawn remaining, that's probably gonna be Tsuru Lucci to get rid of that 9 cost Lin. Another 4 cost Kuzan milled into the trash here. So 6k swing from the side of P. Sorry, from the side of Herbie into the side of P, and we're just gonna see the Gum Gum Giant here. So 1k counter Gum Gum Giant, just to cycle a little bit, does draw into that 8 cost Katakuri, so that is probably gonna come down next turn. So Tsuru sends 9 cost Lin down all the way to 2 cost Lin, just 1 cost higher than Tsuru herself, and there we go. It is the 4 cost Lucci. We remember this combo, RHL from OPO5. It is going to be removing 3 Tempest Kicks to the bottom of Herbie's deck, and there goes that 9 cost Lin. So here we go, back to P. Will he finally have a good option from the top? And he does have that 9 cost Lin, the 4th one in his deck, and that is going to be the top of his deck most likely. He is considering between that and the Gravity Blade to use this turn. He will just go for that Gear second, I think, to add to hand off of the first part of the the UP Luffy leader effect. Let's go for the Red Rock here instead, actually, and then he is going to draw a Gravity Blade and set another Gravity Blade to life with the 9 cost Lin is what I'm looking at right now. So there we go, here's the draw. Here is the 9 cost Sanji coming very, very shortly. 9 cost Sanji is brought to the front of the hand. It will be the play, it looks like. Gravity Blade, of course, a decent option as well, but these two characters on the board, not too scary right now. 9 cost Lin does appear. It will be the Emperor of the Sea here, getting rid of one of these characters, whether it is going to be the Lucci, whether it's going to be the Hina, we will see very shortly. Again, the top card of his deck was the Gravity Blade, so he will be able to remove one of these bodies the following turn anyway. He does go for a 6k swing into Herbie's face, so just putting him at 4 life and trying to make sure that the game can be ended very, very soon. So 2 9 cost bodies here. Herbie doesn't have the 10 cost Kuzan available, so this is going to be quite an endeavor to get rid of both of these, or even one of these will be quite difficult to remove. I do see the 10 cost Kuzan now. I think it should be the card on the far left. He is just going for a 6k swing here. We are gonna see whether P decides to take this and trigger that Gravity Blade, or save it for later. Maybe he can counter all of this with just a 1k, so he might elect to just do that. No, just go for the Gravity Blade, removes the Hina from the board and puts it at the bottom of the deck instead of the trash, which is going to be very crucial as well, because that means no more Rebecca Hina combo. So we are going to see another 5k swing into leader just to mill 2, does get out a Who's Who and a Laboon, and there is the 10 cost Kuzan. However, we did see last turn P did grab that Red Rock from the top 5 cards of his deck, and Herbie did see this as well. So right now what Herbie is doing just sets him up to get Red Rocked this turn. We are going to see the cards all move to the bottom after this. So Franosuke drawn, another Franosuke drawn off the top of the deck, and then there is that Red Rock available for P here, and immediately brings that to the front of the hand, probably going to be the play. And then still he has that 9 cost Lin, he has that 9 cost Sanji available to get rid of board. He can use those to a very high level of efficiency here. So it is going to be just an 8k swing into face from P here. And I believe what P is going to try here is to just swing all 3 into face and then set Herbie at 2 life. Here is going to be the 9 cost Lin swing into face, and then now the 9 cost Sanji swing. P considering whether he wants to give Herbie that 4 cost Kuzan. Again, if he doesn't push this swing in, Herbie won't be at a life total that can be finished next turn. So instead he pivots to swing 9k at the 4 cost Lucci, try to get 2 hand cards out from the side of Herbie. That's a 4k counter to protect this 4 cost Lucci. And I think Herbie is already aware that Red Rock is going to be coming down. P did again show him that Red Rock last turn, so in a position where He knows this Kuzan is going to go. He should try to protect this Lucci so he still has some form of pressure. And I think P is aware this is the last 9-cost Lin Lin in P's deck. If Herbie can push him down to 0, he is going to stay at 0. And that is going to be very scary for P as well, even with all of the counter events he has available. So no, this Lucci is going to go down, and Red Rock sends Kuzan to the bottom of Herbie's deck. And with 2 Dawn open and 3 attacks available next turn, Herbie's timer is starting to tick. We are going to see another 5k swing, and that mills a Jack and a Who's Who. And I guess with that 5k swing, it telegraphs another 10-cost Kuzan available to be played from Herbie here. He does have a Jack as well. We are going to see what is going to be the play. So 5k swing, nothing is going to need any reactions here. And that is the 10-cost Kuzan dropping again from Herbie, but again, too little, too late. P here using his leader effect, he sees another Sanji and an 8-cost Katakuri. There's also a Gum Gum Giant here, so very high level of defense available from him. So he will be going for that Gum Gum Giant from the leader effect. Does have 9-cost Sanji available as well. Will be drawing a Gear Second. And then I don't think he needs to go for a 9-cost Sanji here, but he can easily just drop that into Katakuri, making sure he has a pretty safe play next turn. Even if, let's say, Herbie next turn... What the hell? Anyway, even if Herbie does have that 4-cost Lucci play to get rid of both of these 9-costs on the board right now, he will be able to get he will be able to still push for lethal with the new 9-cost Sanji and the 8-cost Katakuri. And remember, P on this blue-purple Luffy is gonna have a lot of pressure still, and he also has a lot of defensive capabilities with that Gum Gum Giant. So here is the 6k swing into Herbie, now the 9k swing. Herbie only 6 cards in hand now after taking that life. And then another 9k swing into Herbie right now. We're gonna see him just take that as well. And there goes the 9-cost Sanji into the 8-cost Katakuri. And Katakuri. And then we're gonna see the turn back over to Herbie. And again, this is the power of blue-purple Luffy. If you let the game go on for too long, he's going to out-resource you. P, I think, has like 8 cards in hand, and Herbie only has the same amount, but he also doesn't have a 6k base. He doesn't have 4 9-costs on the board, and he drew another 10-cost Kuzan, but it's too little too late. Yes, he can get rid of some of the characters on the board, but then what? So back to Herbie, he is just considering what's going to be the play here. He does have 2 3-cost Brooks, however, that is still quite a bit away from being able to remove one of these bodies, even with the -5 available. It looks like it's just going to be the Jack here. So Jack comes down, he can get rid of the 8-cost Katakuri here, but will that be enough? I don't think so. And here we are moving on with the 8-cost Katakuri. He does get rid of a 4-cost Kuzan because, of course, P knows that was in his hand because it was shifted to life from his first 9-cost Lin Lin. Now we are going to see what he does with this remaining 3 Dawn. He can try to attach Dawn to the Kuzan and clear this 9-cost Sanji, but I don't think that will be enough to protect him with only 1 life available from the onslaught of 9k swings. And we do know P has Gum Gum Giant in hand, so that 13k swing into the Sanji isn't even guaranteed, and actually is guaranteed to basically not be enough on the flip side actually. So we are gonna see what he ends up doing. It is going to be that 13k swing into the Sanji, and there goes the Gum Gum Giant. Dawn -2, draws 2 cards, and then 1k counter more will protect this 9-cost Sanji here. He does have 2 friendos, does have that Nami as well, so here it is, enough counter to protect this Sanji. We do see Herbie just pass the turn back over to P. I think he knows he's cooked. He's going to just have that big hand of, I guess, 7-8 cards. However, that's not going to be enough into the 9k swings repeatedly from this Sanji and Lin Lin. So here we go back to P, goes to his 10 Dawn again after that Gum Gum Giant. 10 Dawn available, leader swing, 9-cost Sanji, 9-cost Lin Lin, 9-cost Sanji. So here's the first 9k swing into that 1 life. It is going to be countered out by Herbie with 2 2ks and a 1k, 4 cards remaining in hand. Will he be able to counter out of this second 9k swing? He is not. He takes it to hand, and then here goes Sanji with another 9k swing, and that is not enough, and Herbie doesn't have the Kuzan. He doesn't have the removal, and there it goes. It is P's game here on the blue purple Luffy. So very unfortunate series of draws from Herbie, I believe, milling out the 10 cost Kuzan on his very first attack, and then finally getting it, but just a little bit too late here. I think if anything, he probably should have just played that Jack earlier anyway and tried to, I guess, be safe. The players here just discussing a little bit, like talking about what was, I guess, in the starting hands and stuff like that, or like just how many removal events P plays. P does play 2 Red Rocks and 2 Gravity Blade, it seems, so does have quite a bit of removal available to get rid of those 10 cost Kuzans. It looks like this was maybe his pre-mulligan hand, which is kind of embarrassing. 2 Red Rocks and 2 Gravity Blades, pretty bad. However, yeah, Herbie, I think just a little bit unfortunate in terms of the curve here. Was able to have Kuzan on curve, was able to have Brook early, but was just not able to draw that 10 cost Kuzan, which is such a crucial card in this matchup. Even if it does get Red Rocked right away, P only has 2 Red Rocks, and Herbie has 4 10 cost Kuzans. So if you are able to continue to apply pressure with that, and with the 4 cost Kuzan and with the 4 cost Laboon, things like that will help you to get rid of the board and put you in a position where you can just run over the game. However, in this case, wasn't able to do that. P was able to draw all 4 of his 9 cost Linlins, and that is going to be the difference maker for sure. And there we go. It is going to be P's game. So we are going to go into the next round of Swiss soon. I'll edit out the sound as much as I can, and I'll see you guys again next time.